Full disclosure, I believe in the possible existence of cryptids. From the Bunnyman to Bigfoot, there is more than just us mere humans walking our planet. There has to be. And I believe there is an organization out there hiding these cryptids away, or at least on the hunt to find them. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary cryptids you need to read part 2. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at 5, the Jersey Devil. In southern New Jersey, the Jersey Devil is a legendary creature that is said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of South Jersey. The creature is described as a flying biped with hooves, however there are many variations. The most common description is that of a kangaroo-like or wyvern-like creature with a goat or horse-like head. Leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, legs with cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It is often reported as moving quickly and emitting a high-pitched blood-curdling scream. Now, the legend originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend goes that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding out she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil. During 1735, Mother Leeds was in labour on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. The child then supposedly began flying around wreaking havoc. Now, the legend certainly has some staying power considering that nearly 200 years later, the devil became a big deal once again, this time in 1909. That January, reports of odd footprints being found in the snow on the roofs of houses caused such a panic that the devil was up to no good that mills and schools closed and some people were too scared to leave their homes. Since then, the Jersey Devil has been to blame for most strange happenings around New Jersey, and in 1960, Camden's merchants even offered a $10,000 bounty to anyone who would capture the mischievous devil, but of course they never received any takers. It's also mischievous. We Brits know what's right. Coming in at 4, Bunnyman. The Bunnyman is an urban legend that originated after 2 incidents in Fairfax County, Virginia, back in 1970. The legend, like many others, has multiple variations, most involving a man wearing a rabbit costume who attacks people with an axe or hatchet. Now, most of the stories hail from a southern railway overpass spanning Colchester Road near Clifton, Virginia, often referred to as Bunnyman Bridge. The legend surfaced after Fairfax County Public Library historian and archivist Brian A. Conley extensively researched the Bunnyman legend. He located 2 incidents of a man in a rabbit costume threatening people with an axe, with the reports occurring 10 days apart in 1970. Now, the second reported sighting occurred on the evening of October 29th, 1970, when construction worker Paul Phillips approached a man standing on the porch of an unfinished home in Kings Park West. According to Phillips, the man was wearing a grey, black and white bunny costume and was about 20 years old. He began chopping at a porch post with a long-handled axe, saying, "You are trespassing. If you come any closer, I'll chop off your head." Spooky. Rumors spread like wildfire, with the Washington Post even reporting on the legends, mentioning the multiple incidents including man in bunny costume sought in Fairfax October 22nd, 1970. The rabbit reappears October 31st, 1970. Bunnyman seen November 4th, 1970. Bunnyman reports are multiplying November 6th, 1970. Not just that, but in 1973 a student at the University of Maryland College Park submitted a research paper that chronicled precisely 54 variations on the 2 incidents. Coming in at 3, GOATMAN. Also known as the Pope Licker, this is a legendary part man, part goat and part sheep creature, reported to live beneath a railroad trestle bridge over Pope Lick Creek in the Fisherville area of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, numerous legends exist about the creature's origins and the methods it employs to claim its victims. According to some reports, the creature uses either hypnosis or voice mimicry to lure passers-by onto the trestle to meet their death before an oncoming train. Other stories, however, claim the monster jumps down from the trestle onto the roofs of cars passing beneath it. Other legends state it attacks its victims with blood-stained axe, and that the very sight of the creature is enough to drive people to leap off the high trestle themselves. The monster was the subject of a 1988 film by director Ron Schlichtner called The Legend of the Pope Lick Monster, with the majority of the movie being shot at the Pope Lick Trestle. Now, it has been confirmed that several people have died on or near the train trestle at Pope Creek in pursuit of the monster monster. And on April 23rd, 2016, a 26-year-old tourist from Ohio died after being hit by a train while searching for the creature. Coming in at number 2, Mothman. Hailing from West Virginia folklore, the Mothman is a creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area from November 12, 1966 to December 15, 1967. On November 12th, 5 men who were digging a grave at a cemetery near Clendenin, West Virginia claimed to have seen a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads. This is confirmed to be the first known sighting of what became known as the Mothman. Not long after, on November 15, 1966, 2 young couples from Point Pleasant told the police they saw a large grey creature whose eyes glowed red when their car headlights picked it up. They would go on to describe it as a large flying man with 10-foot wings, following their car while they were driving in an area outside of town known as TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. Following these sightings, more quickly began to occur, one that took place at the Silver Bridge, which would later go on to collapse, resulting in the death of 46 people, with the incident giving rise to the legend of the Mothman. Now, the Mothman was eventually introduced to a larger audience by Gray Barker in 1970 in his book The Mothman Prophecies, which would later be adapted into a movie in 2002 starring Richard Gere. Wasn't the best, but still worth a watch. Point Pleasant held its first annual Mothman Festival in 2002 when a 12-foot tall metallic statue of the creature was unveiled in 2003. Not too shabby. And finally coming in at number 1, the skunk ape. Now, these cryptids could be lurking almost anywhere around the south, but they have a particular tendency to pop up around Florida. The skunk ape, also known as swamp cabbage man, swamp ape, stink ape, Florida Bigfoot, Louisiana Bigfoot, Myakka ape, swamp squatch, and Myakka skunk ape is a humanoid creature said to inhabit Florida, as well as North Carolina and Arkansas, and is named for its appearance and for the unpleasant odor that is said to occupy it. Now, reports began back in the 60s and 70s, with one sighting in 74 describing a foul-smelling, hairy ape-like creature which ran upright on 2 legs around the suburban neighborhoods of Dade County. Skeptical investigator Joe Nickel has written in the past that some of the reports may represent sightings of the black bear, and it is likely that other sightings are mere hoaxes or misidentification of wildlife. Now, while the National Park Service has dismissed the existence of skunk apes as a myth, local residents remain adamant that their fragrant primates occasionally appear to terrorize their pets. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any scary cryptids that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 3. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scary signals from outer space. Isaiah Wallace said, "Who knows what's really out there? It's crazy to think about, honestly. It's all scary. That's all you need to know. It's all terrifying. Space is horrible and we should never go. It's just full of black holes and wormholes and planets that could kill you." Sad said, "I was watching the top 5 demons you glad weren't real video and you're wearing the same clothes now. Whoa!" You know, sometimes we film videos on the same day, which is what I would say if it was the truth, but to be honest, I was just wearing the same outfit. I usually wear the same outfits because I'm not original, so. Scissor Me Timbers said, "I love how Lucy paused ever so slightly after saying WTF star. Lol. Lol indeed. WTF star. It's funny. Because it means what the f." Charlie Newman said, "In my opinion, Lucy is as seemingly infinite as space, at least in the fantasy zone." That's true, I am infinite. I'm never ending. All encompassing. I'm everywhere. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. From the bunny man to Bigfoot to the bunny man. Said bunny man twice. So with that, let's jump in. Wow, the script's all over the place. The legend itself, after Fairfax County Public Library historian archivist researched the bunny man legend. What? That doesn't make sense, that sentence.